financial industry, since the recession began in December 2007, has sort of fallen apart. It began at Wall Street, and it trickled down now to everyday Americans. What do we do to rein in this sort of collapse of the American financial industry?
The horse is out of the barn on some of it. When the stimulus funding was given to the financial industries with no real strings or regulation about how it was going to be spent, that was a problem. And about half of the stimulus money was spent before President Obama came into office. Since that time, he has talked about a consumer oversight commission that would look specifically at the regulation of banks and financial industries as to how it affects consumers. But overall, if we had a cap on credit card interest rates right now, so that the consumers and the people who are understanding that we not only as a country but as individuals have to change our spending and our saving habits, would have the ability to really make that stick, rather than as they make those periodic payments on their credit cards to try to pay them off, then face increasing interest rates or increasing penalties or a decrease in the credit limit that is available to them when they're actually trying to act responsibly. But on the other hand, when we look at what the interest is that is paid across the industry on individual savings, it's pitiful. And we need to create incentives so that people have a reason to want to save because they'll actually get something from it. Many people are doing that because they know it's the right thing to do, but others could be encouraged to do more so that we would have a stronger infrastructure or a stronger foundation for our financial industry, starting first with individual consumers.
So do we need some sort of reform that brings the horse back in the barn, as you would say, right? We've seen regulation sort of unravel in the United States. Do we need something that puts it back together again?
We do, and you can't consider the banking industry without considering the international influence on it. If we talk about trade and we talk about monetary policies, it necessarily, because of all the past emphasis on this world trade, this free trade, is going to involve other banks. The International Monetary Fund was looking at loaning money to foreign banks who were experiencing some of the same difficulties of the United States. I came out against that because there would be very little oversight to what would be done. And in this case, we should be focusing on what's happening here in the United States.
Now, sort of what you discussed during this interview is a lot of paradigm-changing reform that we would see in the United States, from Ohio to a national level. Where does the political will come from?
The political will comes from leadership, and it comes from people who are willing to stand up. And I like to say sometimes you just have to take a stand. And by that I mean you have to be courageous enough to step up and say, this is the way that I believe it should be done. Open enough to hear other points of view so that you can adjust and make course corrections if you need to, but not afraid of making sure that you try to please everyone, and not afraid of people disagreeing with you. Because I know the American people, ordinary Americans, they want leaders who are simply really trying to do what's best for the public and trying to do a good job. And they can assess sincerity, they can assess authenticity, they can assess honesty. And if they think that someone is honestly trying to do the very best job for them, even if they disagree with their particular point of view, they will still respect them and support them because they know that that's the kind of leader that they want.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for coming in. This Ohio Secretary of State Jennifer Brunner, U.S. senatorial hopeful in 2010. Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Good luck to you, too.
Wake up, America. Open up your eyes. Wake up, America. Wake up.